Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to share with you guys a tutorial on how I created this cute little wreath in a heart-shaped trinket dish. I wrote about it on my blog, but I feel like, there are some people that are readers and other people, they just prefer to learn by watching stuff. I thought I would make that tutorial available for you guys in video so that everyone can benefit from it. Michael got me several items of jewelry. I wanted to put something near my vanity so that I can always put them on. I didn't want to have to reach inside my actual jewelry box every single time I put my earrings on or I put anything that I'm wearing. I just want to make sure I keep them there so that they're just always at hand. I'm even considering making another one so that I can put like little paper clips or random little post-it stacks in the little trinket dish because I like it. It's really cute. I love the way it turned out. I put a little bit of sentimental meaning to it because my mother and my father's initials are in it. Maybe you can come up with your own design, but the concept is really, really simple. I don't know about you guys, but doing things with my hands really helps me in a therapeutic way. It keeps me busy and it keeps me from like negative thoughts, especially when having to deal with the death of both of my parents. That's one way that I cope. I encourage you guys to try it out if you're going through rough times. Make yourself do little projects, even if it's arts and crafts, cutting, painting, even if it's a small gesture. At the end of the day, you're still benefiting yourselves. But anyway, if you guys like this video, go ahead and click that subscribe button so that you can keep in touch with my future videos, and make sure you turn on your notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of my uploads. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys do to cope with anxiety or what kind of things you guys do for therapy, because right now I could use a little bit of help. Now, without further ado, let's get started. To begin, I rolled some oven baked clay out into the thickness about 1/4 of an inch. I used a lined sheet of paper to keep the clay from sticking onto the bowl to make it easier. After tracing around the bowl, I removed the excess. There were some uneven areas, so I had to go ahead and use my hands to even it out and smooth it a bit. So far we're going to end up with something that looks like a giant tortilla looking thing. Alright, so this is a heart fondant puncher. It's usually for baking, but you guys can use anything that has a heart shape on it. I carefully pressed the little hearts into the center of the clay, but not so much that it creates a complete hole. I was going for that carved hearts on a tree kind of vibe, because that's what you do when you're dating. I placed it inside the oven at 275 degrees for 1 hour. I noticed there were some bubbles and rough spots because I'm still learning how to work with clay, so I sanded it down with a 220 grit sandpaper strip. I don't want clumps whenever I start painting, so that's why we sand it down. I do want to say, remember to wear protective gear whenever you're working with fine dust particles. I don't want you guys inhaling this dusty stuff. It can get into your lungs and we don't want that. Then with a dry brush, I dusted it off. Moving on. I needed a heart stencil to go around the two hearts, like a wreath. So I drew a circle first, folded it in half, and then drew half a heart. That way both sides come out perfectly even, because nobody wants some wonky looking heart, right? So now it's time to paint. I began with a regular brush and white acrylic paint, but that just left it looking streaky. So I switched to a sponge brush and I applied 2 really thin coats. I think that's the key. That way you don't end up with blobs of paint. Because I have been there, I've made that mistake before, and in the moment you don't notice it, but when it dries, you're just like, oh man. Once it was dried, I used a heart template and I started tracing around the edge. Since it was a wreath, I went ahead and started adding some leaves. But I got carried away and I ended up with way too many, so don't do that. I did not like that. So I had to repaint the whole thing white, let it dry, start over. So learn from my mistake. Less is more. So instead of drawing them with a pencil, I just freehanded the leaves with black acrylic paint. Since I wanted the little hearts in the center to stand out, I used a makeup sponge to apply acrylic paint around the edge of the same heart used earlier. Then I used a soft, pretty pink color and used a cotton swab to fill the center of the heart and just scattered some dots all around. And now this is optional, but like I said, I put my parents' initials inside the heart. that's my video for today, guys. Like I said, if you guys need further instructions or more details, I have my blog. Head on over to cecifenderson.com. I will leave some links down below for other tutorials. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys very soon. Fendora out.